For those that are joining my live, good grand rising, beautiful rising. Okay, I know it is where I am currently, it is 3 a.m. And y'all, somebody was pulling on my energy, and I'm like, it's too late for this. So, when people be pulling on my energy, it makes me want to work. Okay, it makes me want to, like, some people say, like, when people are pulling on your energy, it drains you. Like, when people pull on my energy spiritually, it gives me it gives me a push. And it makes me want to work. Okay, so I am here to watch for signs, symbols, and all of that other stuff to see where is this energy coming from. Is it something even on social media? Because y'all know, like, when you are spiritually in tuned, like when people are watching your content, when people are, you know, like I said, when they watch your content, like, and you spiritually tapped in, you can feel, you can sense it, you can, depending on how gifted you are, you can hear what they're saying. Okay? So, I don't know if this is somebody that's just watching my content, or I don't know, but we're going to see. We're going to definitely tap in, and I'm going to let spirit snitch on some people. Thank everybody that's joining the live. Okay. So that is what I will be doing. I'll be paying attention to all the signs that's coming into this live, because maybe somebody is watching my content and they're going to see that now I'm alive, and you're going to reveal yourself. You're going to show right on up. Okay. You're going to fall right in the trap. But I hope everybody day is going well. And I'm working night shift, y'all. So I'm going to be up. It's like certain people know exactly when to pull on your energy. That's what's so wild about that as well. So, I appreciate everybody that's joining the live, okay? If y'all have questions, we can chat, okay? I would love to get the live to at least 1,000 likes. Hey. Thank you for joining me, okay? Let's get the live to 1,000 likes, okay? Are you going through a spiritual attack? What are some of the signs that you are, okay, you just had a weird dream. Thank you for following, love. That's a good question, okay? Can you talk about it? Can you express what the dream is? Because it may not be weird. Are you comfortable with your spiritual gifts? That could be a reason as to why you're having dreams. You could be awakening to who you truly are. It doesn't have to always mean that you're being spiritually attacked. It can be that the Most High God is awakening you to who you truly are. And sometimes our dreams do scare us because we're not awakened to our true identity. And that's something that I definitely help my clients with, especially those who are just now going through like spiritual awakenings and you don't understand who you completely are just yet. You haven't become comfortable. Yes, like a spirit. Spirits are a real deal thing. You are a spirit, you know, and there's other spirits that can connect with you, and they don't have to always be a negative or evil spirit. You can have loved ones. Sometimes people don't understand that their gift is really, you may be called to be a medium, and you can connect with loved ones in the other realms. So it can be anything. There was one with no eyes. Now that may sound a little demonic. That may sound a little evil. Okay. But normally when you're going through a spiritual awakening, it's going to be a little dark. the beginning of the process is very dark, and it's really to just awaken you to who you truly are. But if you have already gone through many awakenings and this is what you are experiencing, something of that nature, I would definitely say it's an attack. Good morning, Andrea. Thank you for joining, love. You just have to stay prayed up, especially around this time. If you are experiencing things like this around this time, you got to know that this is the time that the enemy works anyway. But if you can't sleep, I would definitely like turn on frequency music. That helps me a lot when I can't sleep at night, because my mind is kind of like all over the place. I turn on some frequency music. I love ones that say fall asleep. Like literally, you can go on YouTube, type it up, frequency music to fall asleep, and I promise you, about 5 to 10 minutes into that meditation, and then sometimes we got to be mindful of what we are watching, what we are doing throughout our day, because subconsciously we carry those things with us as well. You're more than welcome, love. Hey, Maya. So if you like to watch horror movies and then you wondering why you're experiencing horror dreams, subconsciously your mind has not forgotten that movie or that TV show or whatever it was. Your mind hasn't gotten rid of that. So it stays with you subconsciously. And sometimes, you know, especially when you're gifted, you got to be very mindful of the things that you're watching on TV. Okay? Because TV is a program and we got to understand that. Okay, Andrea, I'm definitely gonna answer your question, but I wanted to make sure that You're So Fine got exactly the response that she was looking for. Okay, I am amazing. Okay, how are you? Yes, spiritual awakening talk. Your response calmed me down. Well, I'm glad that it was able to do that. Okay. Because trust and believe, I've been through the same thing you've been through, and I thought it was an attack. But the more that I grow spiritually, I can't be attacked spiritually at some point. Some point on our journey, because we are so divinely protected, we can't really be spiritually attacked. And that's just facts, okay? That's just me telling you something from my own experience. At this point, people thinking that they're doing something to spiritually attack me, baby, you wasting your time, okay? Because I know that I'm divinely protected. So you can't, you know? So, and sometimes you just can't give the enemy that much power. You understand? Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Most definitely. Still adjusting to mommyhood. Okay. Mommyhood is definitely... I hope you have a great night as well, love. Sweet dreams moving forward. Sweet dreams, okay? And make sure you be careful with what you're watching at night. What are you programming into your subconscious mind? Andrea, let's go ahead and answer your question, okay? For those who are new to my channel, okay, you're new to my TikTok, I do, and hold on, y'all, let me pin my deck for those that would love to check out my oracle deck that I have. Right. So this is the deck that we will be using. If you would love to check out my TikTok shop, I have my deck available for those who are into oracle cards and you want it to be a little simple for you. I'm going to go through the deck. Andrea, this is how I'm going to get your answer for you, okay? know that whatever answer comes out, it's not to sway you from any decisions that you want to make personally in your own life. This is just to give you some form of guidance, okay? And I'm not here to tell you what to do, okay? That is something I want people to understand about the work that I do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. You have free will of your own choices in life, okay? What do you where are you going to school for, Maya? All right, Spirit, we're about to get ready to answer Andrea's question. And her question is, should she marry Elliot? Okay. Signs for you, Andrea, would be the letter A, the letter E. I have a yes or no card in the deck. I have a definitely card in the deck. I have a you are right card in the deck. So those are some of the signs. I do have a card that says husband. I do have a card that says wife. So if you see any of those cards, if I show you any of those cards, those are some major confirmational signs for me, okay? Early childhood development. That's really good. Because baby's going to be forever born. Okay. Thank you, love. I appreciate it. Child care is going to forever be needed. So I think that is an amazing career field to go into, because I trust and believe baby's going to be born regardless, okay? And people going to need somebody to watch their child. Okay. Andrea, let me know if you're still in the live before I start, okay? I don't want to pull on your energy and you're not actively in the chat, okay? All right, love. Let's see what's going on. Listen, I'm just up, okay? I'm working night shift tonight, okay? But I appreciate that, okay? I do believe Elliot is a wise male. I'm seeing the King card here. King energy is very good energy, okay? So I will say he's someone that you do need in your life. Oh, and him. Okay, he also has Emperor energy showing up. Okay, I love this. I love this for you. I see good things coming from this situation. And there's the definitely card. I think that is the answer to your question. And I told you, if I see the letter H, you see how it says husband. Okay. Elliot seems like a good catch. Okay. What is Elliot's zodiac sign? Leo. Leo men are really good. I like Leo. That lion energy. I definitely believe you should, okay? It's definitely giving he will be like a really good father figure. I don't even know if he has kids or not, but if he doesn't have kids, you're a Libra. Because the Libra card came out, I just didn't show it. Okay? The Libra card definitely came out, I just didn't show it. Are you having any doubts regarding this relationship, Andrea? You're welcome, love. Okay, has it been a long time since you've been in love? Because what is your fear? I think that's some self-reflection that you should do, or self-work within yourself, whatever that fear is. And if he's a good partner, then I would express my fears as well, because your partner should know your fears, especially if you're thinking about marriage. They should know a whole lot about you. Okay. No, I'm not sure what you're saying no to. And you can't go into, like, when you're manifesting love, you can't go into I'm scared, because what you think the universe is going to start responding, what type of energy they're going to be responding with. They're going to be people that come into your life that's not ready for commitment. It's going to be people that come into your life who doesn't want anything serious, because guess what? They're just as scared as you are. So you got to start thinking, you got to start affirming things differently. You're not scared. You're ready. And that's what you got to start affirming to yourself. Like, I'm ready for love. Love belongs to me. I am love. So it's like, we really got to be mindful of how we speak over ourselves. Because then you're wondering why you're getting people who scared of love. Because that's the energy that you're reflecting out into the universe. That's why I tell the universe every day, I'm ready for love. I even play, like, there's a song by India Arie. Start playing the type of music that you and your partner want to listen to. Like, it's so much that you can do to manifest, to be in the right energy, to receive the right energy. A lot of us, we receive an energy because that's the energy that we're putting out there. Y'all, as soon as we get to 1,000 likes, we can start a collective message. Because I was thinking I was going to pull some energy for myself. But I appreciate it. And look at that, Leo. I told y'all, like, y'all got to start paying attention to the signs now. Okay, Leo. Leo energy coming into the live. I love that, okay? Pull some for me. What would you love to know, Vanilla Queen, okay? And once again, if you guys, please do check out your girl's TikTok shop, okay? My TikTok shop has my deck that I am currently using, which is my pop-up messages deck, okay? And if you are into oracles and you want it to be simplified, this deck will be the best deck for you, okay? It can't get no simpler. When I created this deck, I couldn't create it to be any simpler. Okay, and thank everybody for following. I appreciate it, y'all. I really do, okay? So, Vanilla Queen, you can ask a yes or no question. You can just, whatever it is you want to know, okay? Personal relationship. So, you just want me to pull in general of those kind of topics. Thank you again for the follow. OMG, I'm Leo. You said this when I clicked on. Okay, what's going on, Leo energy? I actually have Leo energy in my top 3. So I definitely, that's why I said Leos are good people. I'm good people, okay? Hey, Nicole. Welcome. Okay. And okay, Taurus in the building. I gotta show my Taurus some love, baby. Okay. When is your birthday, Nicole? Are you an April Taurus or a May Taurus? Okay, so you're a May Taurus. Okay, April Taurus in the building. Okay, okay. Gemini energy. My best friend is a Gemini, and I love her. Okay, I love her, love her, love her. Geminis are good people as well. I think that anybody that is healed or on their healing journey, you know something, okay? I got y'all, okay? We're gonna get into this. We're gonna definitely get into this. All right, I want to start with Vanilla Queen. All right, Janet, okay? Taurus is in the, oh, look at my Taurus is showing out. I love it, okay? Janet, are you an April Taurus or May Taurus? I think that's why I had to make it very clear. When people are healed, it's a little different, okay? When we're still walking around in that unhealed version of ourselves, that's what makes us, you know, and nobody's perfect, okay? Ain't nobody perfect. But at some point, you're going to realize I need to work on myself. I'm not healed, okay? And when you can wake up and tell yourself, I'm not healed, baby, God is going to really do something in your life, because now you can admit to yourself that something may be wrong with me. And I love that for people. I love when people can say, maybe I am the problem. Because that's nothing but accountability. And that's what grown people do. Grown people take accountability. Okay? So when we're realizing that we're pointing the finger at everybody else, they the problem, they the reason that baby, you are unhealed, and it's okay. Because we can't keep blaming everybody at some point. At some point, we got to be like, what's up with me? Why I keep dealing with this? Why I keep putting up with this? Why I keep... At some point, we just got to be like that. And everybody's not like that. Because they want to point the finger at other people so bad. Like, no. If this person is really your problem, then why are you still dealing with the problem? Or if... then you're in a really good space, okay? It's our own our healing is our responsibility. The people that hurt us, they hurt us, okay? We got to get out of that hurt. We got to go heal. We got to start loving ourselves. We got to let ourselves know, just because this person hurt me, I ain't letting nobody else do it, okay? Being healed, I'm telling you, baby, I love being healed. I love the fact that whatever has happened to me in my past, it no longer affects me. Like, how somebody treated me, how somebody didn't get it right about me, how people lied on me, how people... baby, that just showed me who they are. So when you really know that you're a good person, and you are still pointing the finger even though you know you're a good person, it's time to look at yourself again. Because now that means you're putting up with things that you probably normally wouldn't put up with. And sometimes it's a form of people pleasing. You want certain people in your life. You want certain people to be around. And maybe God is telling you it's time to let that go. That season of your life is complete. You have learned your lesson. Like, that's the main thing with me and God. When God tells me my assignment is complete with a person, I have to be like, thank you, God. Okay? Thank you for allowing me to go through that season, for learning that lesson. But now it's time for me to do bigger and better things. Because I don't want to keep learning the same lesson. And I see that that's what some people like to do. They like to repeat the cycle, repeat the lesson. And especially if you have learned your lesson, why go through another cycle of that? So, but that's still attached to some unhealed version of yourself, because it's like you gotta let that go. But let's get back into this, y'all. See, I can talk forever and ever about stuff like this, okay? Once again, Vanilla Queen, love. Let's see what Spirit has for you today. I do want to use another deck, but the whole point of me being on this live is to use my deck. So let's see what Spirit gives you from my deck. And if I still feel like I need to go a little bit deeper for you, I will, okay? I want to heal so I won't keep hurting myself and others. And that takes a lot of isolation. That takes a whole lot of you being able to sit with yourself, be alone. And now that can be a hard thing when you're someone who loves to be around people. Worthy, are you an introvert or an extrovert? Okay, got you. So you know where to start. That's exactly where you start healing. You're learning to love your own company. You're learning to love yourself, whether people or not. Okay? And most definitely, my love, self-reflection and having a relationship with God. Clock that, okay? Come through, Vanilla Queen, okay? Hi, Shelly. Thank you for joining us, okay? Okay, so you definitely, so have any of your relationships been, well, obviously, because you said you've been in relationships most of your life and you're only 24? But now you understand what your lesson is. Your lesson is to come out of that. All right, Vanilla Queen, let's see what Spirit has for you at this time. Okay, I am seeing the Prince card. Okay, so I do see some masculine energy here for you. Okay, this is a younger male and a son of the Most High God. I do see love is on the way for you. Okay, I know that your question was pertaining relationships and business. Okay, so love is on the way. I'm seeing 555, which is a form of transformation that is happening in your life. You could be definitely going through a transformation in your relationships, learning more about love. Is this self-love? Yeah, because you have completed a major cycle. We were just talking about this, okay? Completion of a major cycle or lesson, and congratulations. So I am seeing an Aries here. So there may be some form of Aries energy. If not, this is definitely, Aries is also, if you are into tarot, Aries is also Emperor energy. There's a masculine in your energy. This person's name could have the letter N in it. First, last, or middle. I'm also seeing Cancer energy. Okay. And on my Aries card, it says, hashtag big boss. Show them who the boss is. Are you thinking about starting some type of... I'm hearing something about clothing. Did you want to start a clothing line? Okay. So with that fitness, because it's definitely giving like, because I wanted to say streetwear, but streetwear can be, that can be like any type of, but if I'm thinking about fitness, I'm thinking about like leggings and sports bras, and like that's the vision that I'm seeing. I'm definitely seeing that. And then with your daycare, of course, you can have the people, you can have your own, like your own shirts, things like, I'm seeing things of that nature. All right, anything else for Vanilla Queen? I'm seeing the letter A as well. So it says taking accountability, ascending, and abundant, baby. Okay, definitely abundance is surrounding you. Abundance of love. Confirmation. And at the bottom of the deck, I'm seeing jackpot. Okay. I love that energy for you. And I can say by next October, all of this should be coming together for you. October 2026, everything should be in alignment for you. Love and business. Y'all, I'm going to go in order, okay? Just give me a second. I'm going to go back through it and let me see. Okay. All right, Sharon. If you're still in the live, let me know. And after Sharon, I'm seeing Maya. Sharon and Maya. There it goes. All right, Sharon. Was there any particular question you had, or you just want me to pull and see what Spirit gives you? Vanilla Queen, Spirit just gave me a scripture for you. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. You might need to put that somewhere. Thank you, Nene, for viewing my TikTok shop. I appreciate that, love. It's definitely giving a vision board. Okay, Spirit is starting to show me something. Thank you, Shelly, for visiting my TikTok shop. Okay, just pull. All right, so Spirit, let's see what Sharon needs to know at this current moment. What is something that Sharon needs to know at this current moment? You are needing to stay positive. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans that I have for you, baby. Right, Sharon. Okay, I see you, Sharon. Sharon, you're going through a transformation as well, love. You're transforming into your divine feminine energy, okay? Things are working in your favor. You are blessed and highly favored, and you need to know this, okay? You are definitely transforming into a higher version of yourself, okay? In the spiritual community, the divine feminine is very equivalent to she could be equivalent to a high priestess. It's giving high priestess vibes. So with that type of energy, you got to be very mindful or very careful with your intentions, the way you speak about things, whether this is speaking about self or speaking about others, because it's like God is now holding you to a higher standard. I hope you understand where I'm coming from, okay? Because I see opportunities wanting to come in, but there may be like, because it's giving like something about your attitude, okay? Because God is changing and transforming you. He's going to be changing and transforming the way that you operate, the way you speak, the way you... It's like he's okay. What it's giving me is like God is ready to put you in bigger places, bigger rooms with bigger people, but you got to know how to be able to. It's not even about being nice. This is not about being nice. This is about opportunities coming into your life. So you got to know when you step into a certain room, you got to know who you are in that room. It ain't about you being nice, because sometimes you, as a divine feminine, sometimes we got to put people in their place. So it's not about you being nice, because, and that may be, that may be an issue. An issue is that you're too nice and you don't know how to stand in your true power as a divine feminine, as a high priestess. Okay? I don't think it's not what, because I keep getting like, it's not about you being nice. It's about you knowing who you are. It's about your power. Okay? Because being nice, people can take advantage of you being nice. But if you don't know how to balance that type of energy, people can take advantage of you. People can run over you. Okay? And then you might take that I'm too nice thing and forget who you are. Okay? I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Okay. Because I'm like, Spirit, I'm sitting here trying to be like, Spirit, is that how you really want me to tell her that? But that is exactly what Spirit wanted me to tell you, okay? It's not about you being nice, because sometimes you may be too nice and people take advantage of your niceness because you are a woman of God, or because you may not curse people out, but sometimes you got to put people in their place, okay? Because I feel like God wants to do bigger things for you, okay? And I'm seeing intentions, isolate from the BS, and integrating. I'm also seeing purpose. That's why I said God is changing you. And he may be changing some things about you that you're not aware of. Maybe you haven't tapped into your purpose, or maybe if you are tapping into your purpose, you can't let nobody play with you, okay? And I'm also seeing celebrate your wins, okay? Celebrate yourself. Celebrate because it's definitely giving elevation, okay? You may be in a season of being elevated. That's what it is. You're in a season of being elevated, okay? Like, God is taking your life to a whole nother level, and you're going to have to know how to work that level. Because when you was at another level, that may have worked in that season. But where God is trying to take you, some of that stuff can't let stuff slide like that, okay? Being nice ain't always a good thing. I had to learn that one, okay? All right, Maya. Let's see what's going on with you, love. What does Spirit need for you to know? You guys, I'm just going in order as the questions are coming in. I will scroll back and look at the questions to see who's next. You're more than welcome, love. Thank you for allowing me to be myself this rising, okay? Maya, let me know you're still here, love. I love the fact I ain't got to play no music. Spirit is just doing its thing. I am just answering questions, I'm here until Spirit says you have done your job. So, y'all, if y'all have a question, just put it in the chat. Like I said, I will definitely go through the comments and go from there. Okay, if Maya is not responding, the next person that I see would be Shelly. So Maya, Shelly, and Worthy. You guys are my next three. Maya, Shelly, and Worthy. After Worthy, I'm seeing Nana. Okay. All right, Shelly, I see your comment. Worthy, I see you're here as well. Nana, if you're still here, let me know. After Nana, it would be Janet. I guess that'll be you after Love. Janet and then Daniel. All right, Shelly. Let's answer your question, love. I seen that I seen your question in the comment section. Is there a romantic future with your ex? Will he look for me? How long have you and this ex been apart? Is there communication with this person? Thank you for the follow. Are you in communication with this person? And if you are if you're not in communication, when was the last time you heard from this person? Since June, July, 2 weeks ago. Sounds like you have created a soul tie with this person. But let's see if there's a future for you and this person here. You have to be very careful with soul ties, okay? First card that came out was free yourself, okay? You got to break this soul tie, because that's what this is. How do you break it? You stop all communication. Now that makes sense. And like, if this person is like roaming through your mind, because how can I say this? Every connection that we get in is not meant to. I'm speaking from experience. Every connection that you get in does not mean that is a connection that is going to last forever. Some connections come into your life to teach you specific lessons that you continue to fail. Okay? As much as you love somebody, as much as you care about somebody, when you have created a bond, a tie with them, if it's unhealthy, why are you keeping yourself bonded and tied to something of that nature? So I want you to really think about that. Is this love or is this lust? Is the only thing that's keeping you and this person connected is a sexual bond? That's not love. That's lust. So you love him, but is that reciprocated? Does he love you back? Because if you love somebody and they don't love you back, that's where an obsession comes from. Because it sounds like you're obsessed with this connection. This connection is taking control of you. You will know that by the way he treats you. If this person has not contacted you since July, and we're about to get ready to go into a brand new year, you got to understand where you stand in this relationship. That's not... So 2 weeks ago when he reached out to you, what was the conversation like? Was this person telling you that he needs to... Is that somebody that you want to deal with for the rest of your life? Is that somebody you want to deal with for the rest of your life? Do you want somebody like that to keep looking for you? Do you want somebody like that to keep looking for you? These type of questions, these are not cards. Questions. These are, ask yourself, do I want to deal with somebody that's immature, full of ego? When he reach out to me, he is under some influence. He needs to heal. Is that somebody you want to keep looking for you? Because me, no ma'am. No sir. But why do you want a future with that? What if he chooses not to heal? Because the card that came out was the free yourself card. It's time for a fresh start. The song is Free Yourself by Fantasia. You gotta free yourself from this connection. And if it takes him 20 years to heal, are you really ready to hold your life for 20 years so this person can heal? I agree, Daniel. Both parties do need to heal, because if she can't let him go and he can't let her go, but nobody wants to do right, nobody's making anything official, that's a problem. And that's understandable. Some people can date and heal together, but you can't be the only one healing and they're not doing anything. That is never going to work. So that's a question that you should ask yourself. Instead of asking me, to ask the cards, is there a future? Is that someone that you truly want a future with? Okay. That's why I said, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to help you understand where you are on the journey. And people can be good people, but they still don't treat you right. They can go out and treat somebody else all the ways that you want to be treated, because they are a good person and they are good people, but they not good for you and they not good to you. Because it's a soul. Do you understand what soul ties are? Are you aware of what a soul tie is? A soul tie is when you cannot let something go. No matter how much you try. You're tied to this. This person has, And that's the whole thing about being sexual with it or intimate with people. Once you connect yourself sexually with another person, you are pretty much just like that. Y'all hear people selling their souls. Some people sell their souls for sexual relationships. The card that came out is don't worry, be happy, be grateful, okay? I think that's the answer that Spirit wants you to know at this point. Don't worry about that. That should be the least of your worries right now. That should be the last thing you should be worrying about. What does that have to do with anything? What does your age have to do with that? Then that means you need to find somebody that's ready to start a family. That's what that means. Because the person that you're trying to do that with, it may not be ready for that. So what you may need to do is, what sometimes we need to understand is when we can finally let something go, something good can come in. You can't expect something to come in when you're still holding on to the old thing. I agree, Daniel. I agree. Thank you so much for the follow. You have not. I'm going to tell you how I know you have not let him go. Because you're questioning that same relationship. You have not let that person go. And it's okay. Because we all got to go through this part of the journey. So at this point, if you know that this is not something you want to do, that person should have no access to even contact you. He should be blocked. I agree, Daniel. I agree. She is definitely, it's a soul tie. It's not going to be, it's not going to be as simple as people think it is. But you have to block all access for that person. Thank y'all for that's what I love about collective stuff, like collective energy. Y'all get me, okay? Y'all understand what this really means. You have to let go. If it's meant to be, baby, God will make it happen, okay? If something is meant to be, I'm telling you, God will make it happen. Thank you, KA, for viewing the TikTok shop. And sometimes we got to be careful with that. Listen, when we be telling God, because I used to do this too, y'all. When I used to tell God, like, if something is not for me, then blah, blah, blah. Okay? That is you setting an intention for your life. So if you're telling God, if this man is not for me, remove this person out of my life. And then when God actually removed the person out of your life, you're trying to figure out, like, God, what? Then you got to remember, oh, I said that. I told God that if somebody wasn't meant for me, we got to be careful with those type of things because we're setting intentions, okay? And God responds, okay? So God responds, okay? Most people do, okay? Most people say that. If something ain't for me, then they be wondering what happened with the relationship? Why the relationship just go? Because you said exactly what was supposed to be said. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, y'all, let's keep going. Worthy. Let me make sure you didn't have a question. I think I did see the question. If not, you can put the question back in the chat for me. And sometimes God bless you with your lesson too. Please don't get it misconstrued. God will bless you with your lesson. Okay? Been there, done that. God done blessed me with a couple of my lessons. Okay? Will you be stable in Indiana? Have you been working towards that actual thing? Have you been working towards becoming stable? That will be my question. I'm trying to tell you. And sometimes we just got to switch it up, okay? God, keep the people that are meant to be kept in my life. Sometimes we don't have to remove people. We just have to ask God to keep the people that is needed in our lives, okay? And the people that are not needed in our lives, we know, if we know, then we know, okay? That's why sometimes we just got to switch up the intentions. Because sometimes we don't realize how negative we truly are. But if you switch the intention, your life will be a little bit different. You just got to start speaking positive. And when God tests you with that, because God will test you. So you say, God, send me the love of my life. And God sends you the love of your life. But the love of your life got a whole lot of issues going on in their life. You got to know. You told God exactly, send this person into my life. And he did, he gave you your promise. But he didn't tell you that your promise was going to come with problems. So now you got to go back to God and be like, okay, God, let me switch it up a little bit. Tell God what you want and be very specific about it. And when it comes, be ready for what's to come. Okay? So don't just say, I want a good man. Okay? Because that good man may got 10 kids and you don't know how to handle a man with 10 kids. But he's a good man. Okay? So we got to just be mindful. Okay? You got to be specific. Okay? And don't ask for it unless you know what you want. And I'm going to also say this. We can ask for it, like, I'm just using a good man as an example, okay? We ask God for a good man, but are you a good woman? The universe can only give you who you truly are. So when you start getting those good people in your life, but those good people got problems, you're going to have to look at yourself and be like, I must got problems too, because that's all that I'm attracting is good people with problems. Like, we just got to be mindful of how we manifest things, and we got to make sure that are we in the right version of ourselves to receive what we're asking for. Because you can receive that, but you might not be in the right space to even keep it. So, and I done been through some of those type of situations myself. Like, you get a good job, but then other things start to happen in your life. I prayed for a good job, but other stuff happens in life. So it's like, I wasn't prepared to keep the job. So it's just like, you got to know, you got to really be mindful of what you're asking God for, especially if you are one of those ones that God don't play about, and he's going to provide. He's going to show you every time. He's going to keep his promise. But you're not ready. You got to be ready. Most definitely. We only cook and clean for our husbands, okay? We don't cook and clean for just a good man. We cook and clean for our husbands. So sometimes women, we give the wrong people the wrong positions, okay? Been there, done that, okay? Let that man cook and clean for himself, okay? Unless he wants to provide you unless you're providing him with a service, which means you are being paid for your services, then hey, other than that, you don't cook and clean for no man that's not your man. That's something I had to learn, okay? Thank you for sharing the live, love. And I was raised in a family that you take care of your man. But that man wasn't ready to marry me. So why am I taking care of, why are y'all telling me to take care of a man that don't even want to marry me? That's how I know some things are just dysfunctional in families. Because ain't no way my family tell me you take care of that man. But that man ain't, something don't sound right. I agree, because it's all about commitment. It's all about the person wanting to commit to you. The piece of paper is just proof that this person is willing to go abide by rules to be married to you. You know? And sometimes that's what most people need. I need this paper. I was just joking, okay? I'm just joking. But I need this paper to let me know that you're truly serious about this. Because if you're not serious about this, the minute that you're ready to step out of this commitment or this, like I said, the minute you're ready to step out of it, I'm stuck. Especially if I depended on you, especially if you were someone that say, hey, I got you. I'm here for you. I'm going to take care of you. And then you decide that y'all see this happening right now. Like, I don't know if y'all tapped in with what's going on with Mr. Gates, Mr. Kevin Gates. But that's exactly what he's doing to women. Okay? He's marrying them with no paper. And now they got to go through what they go through, because that's not fair. Let me be real with you, Worthy. Some women were never taught that. If you go to different countries and you start studying different cultures, some of these women were technically raised on a man being a provider. Their father was a provider. Their mama did not have to work. And they kept that tradition going. Which I think is the right way to do it, okay? Now, can a woman have a side hustle? Can she have something that can bring in income as well? Most definitely. I think that's very smart of a woman, okay? But that's not a man, baby. I'm sorry to tell you. That's not a man. That's not a man, okay? That's not a man. You're dealing with a feminine man, okay? A man a masculine man. Hear me and hear me good. He wants to provide. He wants to take care of you because he know that God is trusting him with you. A man of honor. A man who respects his heavenly Father is going to do right by the woman that he chooses to be with. Because God is trusting him with you. But that's what a man is. So sometimes we got to realize that we're not dealing with a man. And that's just that. They may be a man by what you see, but here and here, they're not a man. They're a woman. They want to be taken care of just like you want to be taken care of, okay? With the woman that submits unto him. And that's going to be something mutual. You both will submit to each other. You both submit unto the Most High God. Is that God though? So that's why I said sometimes we got to realize, are we dealing with a godly person or are we dealing with a worldly person? Because a worldly person will definitely do that. A worldly person will definitely be like, I take care of you, I'll take it away as well. That's not God. Do you see your man equal to you, or is your man the head over you? My husband, I want to make this very clear, okay? My husband, because it says that in the word as well. It says that your husband is your Lord, is your God. So my husband will definitely be the head over me. But that head will be under God. So it'll be God, husband, then me. Most definitely. I think that men are that way because that was the way that they were either raised. They were either taught like that. And most men were raised just by a woman. It's very seldom that you will find a man that came from a 2-parent household. It's very, very, very rare. Okay. And I think it's pretty much because a lot of men were creating things that they weren't ready for. And they left the woman to do the job alone. So, and unfortunately, I'm one of those statistics, okay? Families. And then they create children. Which means if you're having a child out of wedlock, you're already living life wrong. And that's just the God honest truth. If you're having children out of wedlock, you're already living life wrong. Because that's not according to how God wants it to be. So a lot of people are getting it wrong simply by having a child out of wedlock. That's why that paper really matters. Well, me personally, I'm not a part of that society. No, I'm not Christian, but I do believe in the Most High God. But I do, and the thing about that with me, because I consider myself to be a free spirit. So it's like if I practice or research a certain religion and I like what they do, I like how they operate, I take on some of those traditions. But I do not consider myself to be any type of religion person. Most definitely. That's why discernment is so important, Daniel. Discernment, discernment have to always be on 1,000%, okay? Because if you are under a sound mind, you're going to make right decisions. But is that being reflected with the people but men or not? Y'all know I was watching a Breakfast Club today, and on the Breakfast Club, it was this pastor named Michael Todd on there, right, y'all? And he was talking about why people are like kind of like the way they are. And he was saying God can't bless you. God can't bless the fake you. He can only bless you with who you truly are. So a lot of people, we don't really understand that we are not truly ourselves because we don't know ourselves. So if we're expecting ourselves to be projected a certain type of way or be seen a certain type of way, but that's not who we really are, God is not going to, he's going to bless you with the person that you are. We definitely can be. We can, if men and women decided to do this together, that's what makes us so powerful. That's why they don't want us together. Because when they realize two are better than one, because there's a greater return on their reward. Come on now. I hear where you're coming from. Okay, trust and believe me. I hear where you're coming from. See that when it get tricky right there, okay? Thank you, Janet. I appreciate it. That's when it gets tricky. Because no man shouldn't be above it. But it depends on what it really, to be honest, it really depends on how you decide to do life, okay? Daniel is speaking facts, okay, y'all? Daniel is speaking facts. That's why I said it really depends on how you want your life to go, okay? Because definitely we were made out of the man's rib. If we're talking about religion, because everybody's not religious and everybody doesn't agree with religion, but facts are facts, okay? And there's nothing that we can do about that. So technically, we were created through a man's rib. No, I'm so serious. I'm so serious. This is why some people don't respect certain religions because of such, okay? Or that's why some people don't practice certain religions because of such, okay? Daniel, listen, y'all. Daniel is speaking facts. Y'all might want to take some notes from Daniel because he's very aware, okay? And it's not about a man being controlling. It's not about a man being manipulative, because a man of God is not any of those things. I just want people to understand that. A man of God is not any of those things. He's not manipulative. He's not controlling. And if you really know your word, you're going to really be in Galatians 5:22 and 23. And that's going to tell you exactly a man of God. Okay? So if you're trying to pinpoint if a man is of God or a woman. Let's just use both of us, okay? If you're trying to see if a man or woman is a man or woman of God, read Galatians 5:22 and 23. If they don't have any of those qualities, that is not a man or a woman of God. And I'm just being honest, okay? And I don't think Daniel is being funny. I think Daniel just know, and for his name to be Daniel the Chosen, he knows something. Sometimes we can learn from other people like that. Galatians 5 is Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23. That is how you will really know if that is a man or woman of God. Yes, I agree. 1000%, I agree. Whew. Daniel, you have spoken some word today, okay? And it's not even really about, because a woman is not supposed to find a husband. The man is supposed to find the wife. And ladies, to begin with that, you have to be a wife to be seen or sought out as a wife, okay? You can't be still out here playing with Billy Bob and Joe, expecting to be married, expecting a man to marry you. No, you cannot be out here playing games if you are really expecting a man to marry you. It don't work like that. So that's why sometimes we got to learn lessons 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 times. Because we did not understand that we were already wives before a man comes and put a ring on your finger and says, I want to marry you. You have to already be a wife. That means you have to already be living your life as a wife before you even get a ring. That was something that that was something God had to talk to me about. Like, you have to actually be a wife before you become a wife. And I'm like, God, that makes sense, okay? I'm still out here playing games. And I'm talking about I'm ready for my husband. I'm still out here playing games, okay? You have to be still and wait on God. You can ask him to show you your husband and he will. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. And sometimes when God show you that husband might not be ready, okay? That's something that I had to understand too. God will show you who your husband is, but your husband may not be ready. Okay, being still is, I'm going to give you an example. If you know that you were someone who liked to go out to the club, you used to, okay, let me not say the club. I'm just going to say you used to be outside. You used to love going outside. You had to be in a mix. You had to be at the party. You had to be at every time you had to be somewhere. And God is saying, okay, in this season, I don't want you going anywhere. I want you focusing on me. And the only way that you can focus on me is you're going to have to tell that friend, I can't go out this weekend. You're going to have to tell that... You're going to have to tell people what you're going through in life. And most of the times, that is when people go through what we call a spiritual awakening. Because now you're redefining who you truly are. And when you start defining, and it's not about staying at home, but it's about those places that used to control your life. You can't go to those places anymore. So now you may have to switch up where you go. And when you start switching up where you go, you're going to start making different type of friends. You're going to start creating different type of connections with different type of people. So it's not about you staying at home. It's about, because your husband might be at the church. Your husband might be at the coffee shop. But if those are places that you never went to, your husband might be at a 5-star restaurant, but you never been to the 5-star restaurant. Like, you just got to change up, because God is following you. Even though you're following God, he's following you too. He's keeping up with you too. So it really depends on where you are on the journey. Like for me personally, because I can only speak for me. When I started going through my spiritual awakening, I was the one that liked to go out to the clubs. I was the one that liked to be around people who are really not good for me. They were keeping me stuck in cycles instead of pushing me forward. It was almost like my life was going backwards. So it's like when I started to realize, like, dang, every time I go around this person or every time I'm at this place, something always just don't seem right or something always goes wrong. That was God telling me you don't need to be in those places anymore. I'm trying to take that taste out of your mouth. I'm trying to take it, and if it's for some people, because everybody's journey ain't the same. Okay, sometimes it can be smoking for some people. Sometimes it can be drinking for people. Sometimes it can be whatever it is. That God is like, okay, I need to take that away from you because that is keeping you away from me. So it's like you just got to know where you are on your journey. Okay, whatever thing was kind of controlling your life, it's time for you to take back control of those things. Okay. So is everybody on the same page in the household? I agree. Is everybody walking the same walk that you're trying to walk? Because that's going to be a division right there. Say that you're trying to get your life together, but everybody else ain't trying to get their life together. So they're going to think that you're changing, and then you're going to think that they tripping. It's not. Ooh. Now that can be very tricky. Because if you can't step out on your own, okay. If you can't step out on your own, then yeah, it's going to be a lot of chaos. Okay, what scripture was I reading today? I think it was in Philippians. I think I was reading Philippians. Hold on, y'all. Let me confirm that. I want to say it was Philippians. Yep. If you go into Philippians 2, it says, sometimes I be trying not to read it the way it is, but I'm just going to read it the way it is, y'all. Y'all take it where it resonates, okay? It says, so then as Christians, do you have any encouragement? Do you have any comfort from love? Do you have any spiritual relationships? Do you have any sympathy and compassion? Then fill me with joy by having the same attitude and the same love, living in harmony and keeping one purpose in mind. So you got to think about stuff like this. If the people that you are surrounding yourself with is not encouraging you, they're not loving you, they don't have any spiritual relationships, they don't have sympathy or compassion, those are some of the things that you got to start thinking about when it comes to the people that you are surrounding yourself with. And then if you already know they don't believe, but on here it says have the same attitude as Christ. If they don't know who Christ is, how can they treat you such? That's Philippians chapter 2. And I think the whole chapter 2 is really good. It's about 30 verses, but it's worth reading. How can they love you? How can they tell you the truth? How can they encourage you? God is all of those things in one. Most definitely. That's what I was saying. Like, if they don't know that that's who God is, how can they treat you such? If they can't even, if they don't, because everybody don't believe, you know? Everybody has their own belief system. And that's something that I don't judge. I don't judge because, like I said, I don't title or label myself as anything. So it's like I can understand that. Facts. I agree. Y'all, I know we jumped completely off the topic. We jumped completely off of what we were supposed to be doing. Okay, Worthy. If you're still in the live, love, let me know. Okay. I'm glad that he's in your life as well. And I'm proud of you. You should know that somebody is proud of you, okay? Because when you get to know God for yourself, baby, that's such a beautiful thing, okay? Not what your pastor say, not what your homie say, not what your friends say. Not when you know God for yourself because of the life experiences you've had, can't nobody tell you anything different. And I want you to understand this. Just because you're on a journey with God, everything ain't going to be beautiful. Everything ain't going to be rainbows and butterflies. I don't want to make you cry. I want to make sure you smile, okay? But I know that crying is part of the process, part of your healing process. And that's something that I think people should understand. It's okay to cry. It's okay to release. Because if you don't release that energy, it's going to store up in other places. And that ain't good. Just cry it out, baby. Listen. And I'm not even a crybaby, but when I cry, okay? We want you to know that exactly. You release that, and you're probably going to sleep real. Listen. Y'all know how that go when y'all cry. That'd be the best sleep. After you done cry, just listen. They say you cry yourself to sleep. Man, be the best sleep ever. Wake up, be like refreshed, okay? The Spirit says that God has a calling, okay? I'm about to say, hold on. Say what? Uprising, wisdom. Thank you for joining, love. I like that. Uprising. I like that. I might have to use that one, okay? Okay, so for real, y'all, back to what we were doing. Wisdom. I don't think wisdom is no longer in the live. Okay, y'all. Because I probably was supposed to answer her question, and that's what happens when Spirit, you know. I love when Spirit doesn't need me to use my cards, but I think Nana, if you're still in the live, let's answer your question, and make sure you just post it back in the chat for me. Daniel, whatever your question was, just put it back in the chat. Janet, if I didn't answer your question, please put it back in the chat. Because we've been talking for a good little second, y'all. I love that for you. I love the fact that that is what you call accountability. Holding yourself accountable. A whole lot of everything. Okay, we've been talking about a whole lot of everything. Okay, Nana says, is my ex Lewis happy with his new girlfriend? I told him not to come back after I found out. Can I be like your real best friend at this moment? Can I be one of your realest friends at the moment? Daniel, you said, you took the words right out of my mouth, okay? That's why I had to say, can I be your real friend? I want you to check out Daniel's response, Nana. And then I want you to respond from that. And it's not that you're responding to him. It's for that I can understand where you're coming from at that space, okay? Sometimes I really think we give people much more power than they deserve. They ain't even all that, but we give them so much power that they begin to believe they're all of that. And a back, baby. Sometimes we just gotta listen. Take that power back, okay? Of course, of course. We don't really want to see the person that we were once in love with actually move on and start living a whole new life with a whole nother person. Sometimes that's hard to accept because you're wondering why I couldn't get that life, why you couldn't do me right, why, and maybe that person, that's why I said everyone that comes into your life is not meant, it's not a for every let me say it like this. Every person that comes into your life is not a forever situation. That's why they say it's a season and reason for everything. Everything you go through is a season and it's a reason as to why you went through what you went through, what you had to experience, why you had to experience it. So it sounds like he was dealing with multiple people. Sounds like he was playing two sides. That's what that sounds like. Or it looks like she was trying to show you she could take your man. Let me sit with spirit and if need to, I will definitely say it, okay? She was showing you that he Hold up. Daniel, man, you need to do a podcast or something. We need to work together, Daniel. Okay? We need to work together. Because, baby, and it's 4:44 on my clock as I'm saying this, okay? We need to work together. Listen, if y'all, I actually have a subscription for those who would love to actually be subscribed to my channel. I do work with my subscribers outside of social media. So if that is something that you are interested in, join the family that way, okay? That's the way you can join me. But if you're definitely wanting to work with me, we do some collaborations. Y'all let me know, okay? I like working with spiritual people. I like working with enlightened people. And you have to definitely be on the same journey that I am on. Okay, just because I use cards does not mean I play those type of games. Thank you so much, love. So that means you need to get rid of that. Okay, if you don't want this person back, and we're just being honest with you. We're being very transparent, because that's the type of person I am. I'm a very transparent person. Okay, so if I say anything that hurts your feelings, you took it out of context. Okay, because that's never my intentions. That's why sometimes y'all hear me say, can I be real with y'all? Because when I'm real. So thank you, Janet. Janet, did you just subscribe, love? Let me find out you just subscribed. Because how do you get that tag on your name like that? Hold up, wait a minute. I apologize, but I don't. That is true. There you go, wisdom. There you go. That's exactly what that is. And then you go and see that person choosing someone else. Regardless. It's like a pill that you really have to swallow. And realize this person doesn't love me for real. Because if they loved me for real, it wouldn't even be like that. Yes, you can ask a question, love. What's your question? My question, I don't really like answering a question with a question, but sometimes I need a little more clarity, okay? Because I read my cards, but sometimes it's not even about the cards. It's really about people looking within themselves, okay? And I want to know, wisdom, I like you, boo. I like you. I like you, wisdom, okay? Because sometimes we really have to understand, if we have to come onto a social media platform and ask people about a man that we mess with, I just don't think something right about that. But I was once there, so I get it. I get the mindset. But now that I have evolved and grown, ain't no way I'm finna get on a social media platform and go around asking somebody about a man that's supposed to be my man. Cause either he my man or he ain't my man. It's either one or two things. Okay, so take this and understand this. If you are talking to a person and you are wondering if they are messing with somebody else, if they like you, if they not showing you the proof, that is the answer. And that's just the truth, okay? If a man wanted to, the man would do it. So there's no need to question it, baby. If this man is showing you, I don't care if y'all friends with benefits, co-workers, whatever it is. If a man is not giving you any reason to question anything that he is doing, why question it? Because all you're going to do is wreck your brain. And now you're overthinking. And then when he tell you tripping, you're going to be like, I'm not tripping. Yes, you are. You're tripping. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't know that. You know, I don't get into connections with anybody, you know, looking for anything but someone to be their authentic self. That's all I ask for. When I'm getting to know people, I don't have any expectations. Okay, maybe I need to reword that. Because them being authentically themselves is an expectation for me. So maybe the main expectation that I have for someone is be yourself. I need to know who you are. Whether that means you a good person, you a bad person. I need to see that. And I'm not judging you for whatever it is. Okay. But that's like I don't really think that people should have expectations at some point. Like when you first meeting somebody, like y'all just freshly start meeting. You just freshly met someone. And you're like, I'm expecting this man to do this and I'm expecting that man to do that. You don't know them. Let them show you who they are before you have expectations. That's where I'm coming from with that. That's why I say when I'm getting to meet someone or when I'm getting to know someone, I don't have expectations. Besides the fact that show me who you are because I can handle it. Now, when I decide to let you go and then when I decide to cut you off, don't be like, why you stop talking to me? Because you showed me who you are and I don't rock like that. And it's good to see them during their healing. Most definitely, you should see people through all of any phase that they're going through, you know, because that shows you who they are. So even someone hurt and they're going through a season of where they're trying to process what they have been through, because that's not them healing, but they're processing. Sometimes people be like, no, I need to process the hurt that I went through before they get to their healing. So I want to see you when you're hurt. I want to see how you are when you're going through what you're going through, because I'm not here to judge you. But I am here to observe you, and I'm here to say, okay, and I'm the type of person, of course, I'm going to give my 2 cents. I'm going to say what I need to say, and it's like, if you don't understand that, I definitely don't need to be around you. So I think it's good to see people in every stage of their life, whether they're doing good in life or whether they're not doing it good in life. Sometimes that's why you gotta. Oh, you gotta close the cookie jar. And you gotta put that cookie away. Okay? Ladies, don't let them get your cookie. The cookie is supposed to be saved for the right one. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with you living your life. You can go out and enjoy your life and still be a child or a woman or a man of God. You can still go out and have a normal life. There's nothing wrong with that. But we got to know that, like I said, if you want to know if you are in alignment with the Most High God, your word is Galatians 5. Okay, now wisdom. I told you, let me sit with this, and maybe God is giving me this word to give to you. Galatians 5:22 and 23. If you're trying to understand who is meant to be in your life, because that's what I'm hearing, okay? If you're trying to understand who is supposed to be in your life, Galatians 5:22 and 23. I'm also getting something about discernment. Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23. And let me say it like this. They have to have all of those, okay? They can't have just one or two. They need all of those. And that's how you narrow it down to who, or unless they say this is something, and then they come to you and they say, well, this is something that I'm working on. Then you might be like, okay, let me scope you out. Let me observe that. And because sometimes we all a work in progress, okay? Nobody's perfect. But sometimes we are a work in progress. So if they tell you, hey, this is something that I'm really working on within myself, and you can see that they're working on that particular thing, then God may be like, okay, God may give them a time frame in your life. And you got to be able to know when God says, okay, their time in your life Good morning, good rising. Uprising is the word that we're going to be using moving forward. Instead of grand, we're going to be using uprising. I'm still stuck on that one. When you can see growth in a person, life of who they are, who they're really becoming, then you know. Because for me, I believe I've always had majority of those qualities that we're speaking of. But there was always still some things I needed to work on. Most definitely. We gotta always thank that man, okay? Okay. How long have you been with this person? Mm. Cause it's a real thing now. It's a real thing. That's why we gotta be mindful of who, even the person that you're in a connection or in a relationship with. Those people can be connected to people that they shouldn't be with, and definitely that can interfere with you. It's called guilty by association. Most definitely. That's why I said, everybody ain't got life together, okay? Some people are a work in progress, and we have to, respect their progress, their progression. It's not you though. You haven't, from what I'm getting wisdom, it's not you. It's the people that you are attaching yourself to. You're fighting. That means in my eyes, I would see you as a not a prey warrior, but you are okay, spirit is giving me you're an intercessor. So when you're an intercessor, you fight on the behalf of other people. That's why you feel like your life is the way it is. You're not fighting, you're fighting other people's spiritual battles. Wow. Confirmation, baby. Your battles are not your battles. You are fighting other people's battles. But that's what an intercessor is, though. So, and that may be your God-given gift. Trust and believe. I understand. I trust and believe. I understand. That's why I had to tell God, I'm done with the demons. Keep the demons away, okay? But we have to know how to turn that stuff on and off, though. So when you're starting to realize you're fighting a battle that is not yours, and you no longer want to fight that battle, give it to God. Let God know, God, this is not a battle that I want to fight. That's why he says, lay your burdens down. Lay them down. Give it to him. He will take care of it. But that means that may be a person that you have to totally walk away from. That may be a job opportunity that you really have to let go of because it's truly becoming too much on you. There's your confirmation, love. Because it's been plenty of times where I tell God, thank you for this gift that you have bestowed upon me. But this is too much for me, and I don't. Hold on now, but when you dealing with a demon, you can't talk to a demon like you would talk to an angel. You can't talk to a demon like you talk to it won't work. They won't hear it. A demon can only hear in their language. Okay? So, you ain't coming out of character. And you not stooping to their level. You're speaking their language. Because that's the only way that they understand. Okay? I'm saying as the intercessor. You feel me what I'm saying? Listen, trust me. I know exactly what you mean, okay? That's why at some point I have to cut it off. I have to block it. I have to no longer have it, no longer can have access to me. And when you think that you gonna have access to me, you gonna realize that your access has been denied. And that's when God starts to work. Because I'm not someone, I don't like to repeat myself. I don't like to tell somebody the same thing over and over and over and over. Like, at some point, I'd be like, am I talking to a wall or something? Because I can't be talking to a person. Because if I was talking to a person, and then 9 times out of 10, it's not even a person that I'm talking to, because I'm probably talking to a spirit. So I have to be like, you know what? I'm blocking this. This is no longer going to have access to me. Okay? And that is how you choose to protect yourself. That is how you protect your peace. So if you're wondering how to protect yourself, sometimes you got to block it. And sometimes people are a projector. Understand that too. Sometimes people are projecting on your life. That's why I don't let people pray for me. And I'm just being real. I don't let people pray for me, because I don't know what your prayer is. And I don't know if that prayer aligns with what I'm praying for. So out of respect for myself and to respect you, I'd rather you not pray for me. I'd rather you go pray for yourself. Say that prayer for yourself. I'm so serious. Okay. Exactly. So that's why I be like, listen, say that prayer. God, you might need that prayer. Okay? Say that for yourself. You ain't gotta pray for me. Baby, I praise for me. Okay? And I know what to tell God. Because I don't know what you telling God. You might be telling God, And then, because you might not serve the same God that I serve, and out of respect for your God and my God, you know what? Keep that prayer to yourself. Because everybody that's praying for you may not be praying for your upcoming. No, for real. No, for real. And when you say you praying for me, you got to tell me what you prayed. You got to tell me what you praying for. Make sure I'm in alignment with that. Make sure my life is actually in alignment for what you're praying for. Because what if I'm not in alignment for what you're praying for? It's like, now people are causing unnecessary war in your life because you're not even in alignment for what they're praying for. So, thank you. I'm glad you can feel that. Okay? I'm glad you're able to receive that as well. Yeah. I tell my clients all the time. They will send me messages and be like, girl, pray for me. And I'd be like, to be real, I don't pray for people. And I don't want that to be misconstrued. But I don't pray for people. I don't go to God. Let me take that back, because I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly. There are certain people in my life, like my son, my immediate circle. Now, my immediate circle, I'll pray for you. But if I'm just meeting you and you be like, girl, pray for me. And I be like, sometimes I be like, well, what am I praying for? And then I be wanting to know, you praying for, and then I'm going to just give y'all an example. Somebody say, girl, pray that I get this job. And I'm like, okay. But if the job calls you tomorrow, would you be ready to go to work? And they be like, no. So I'm like, well, what am I praying for you for? You ain't ready. So sometimes be like, listen. And they be like, girl, pray for me. Pray for my husband. And I be like, is your husband doing right, though? Is your husband living right? Because if I pray for your husband, and then you just so happen to, your husband just... You gonna think I was praying against you and your husband. But your husband wasn't living right to begin with. So sometimes I have to be like, okay, are you in a line? Are you ready for what? Because if I go pray, if I go talk to God on your behalf, you mean something to me. And God knows that me coming to him on your behalf, oh, God must be like, oh, she must really with them. Okay. Because I don't do that often. But I will say this. It's not that, I'm going to say it like this. Like, it's not technically like for me a praying thing. It's more like when I meditate, I may meditate and I may just put their name. I might just something simple, but I ain't going to. Praying is me going to God on your behalf. And I don't do that for everybody. Because you might not be ready for what God is going to do when I go to God on your behalf. And then when your life get to crumbling, or when your life is all jacked up, you gonna think I prayed against you. No, baby. I prayed for that. I prayed for you. And next time, don't ask me to pray for you. So it just depends on. But I will definitely, go to God and receive what I need to receive. Yeah, exactly. And you asked me to pray. Listen, that's why I said when I ain't never gonna I asked you what was your question. So be careful what you ask me to pray for, because baby, God gonna reveal it. So if you got a cheat man and you want me to pray for your husband, but your man is a cheater, and when God expose it and reveal it, don't be mad at me, okay? You gonna have to take that up with God. Because it was a reason why God needed to expose that man as a lying cheater and whatever else he was. Y'all, I am up, okay? I see your message right now, but I don't see a question. I see you say you ain't gonna ever get this reading, but what's your question, Lou? Which you probably already know the answer to anyway, but gratitude to you as well. Thank you for stopping in and chatting with us. Thank you for the follow, love. Thank you, Lord. Okay. Not at all. If you want to, you can, I have another device. If you want to, you can send it to me in like a DM. And then I'll read it and then I'll answer it for you. Because they may be filtering my comments. I don't want you to do all of that. If you can send me a message I'll check the message, but I don't normally check my DMs, y'all. I'm not a DM checker. Unless you are like a subscriber, because some people don't have full access to me. Okay, I see it now. I see it. Okay. Hold on, Daniel. Do you see what Melissa just did to Jamaica? Did you see what Melissa did to Jamaica? Oh. All right, let's get your confirmation, okay? Anything that I am looking for. Okay, I'll check it, love. Give me 1 second, okay? After Daniel will be Janet, though, okay? Y'all know, listen, I have a sense of humor. I love laughing. I love all of that, okay? But, let's answer your question. Once again, confirmation for me would be the letter D, the letter M, yes or no. Definitely. I think that's all that Spirit is showing me. All right. I love this. You see how long it's taking for your answer to come out? What I will say is this person is your match, is a match for you. But as far as I'm seeing the no card, okay? The answer is no, but this is a two-part to this card here. One part says the answer is no, and the other one says not yet. God is still working on it. And I was just saying, I believe this person is a good match for you. And the reason that I said that is because the king and the queen came out. So I believe that there's still some form of lessons that someone may need to learn. Because the lesson card didn't come out at all. So this is what I believe. I believe not yet. God is still working on it. And he could be working on you, or he could be working on this person. The letter M did not come out. The letter D did not come out. And that is your opportunity to be patient. This is when your fruits start to show up. Okay? Because this person may not be completely ready for you. God is testing you as well. So you got to know how that works. God working on the both of y'all. What is her zodiac sign, if you don't mind me asking? Because a lot of zodiacs came out. Most definitely. You should definitely believe in balance. Because these are all the zodiac signs that came out. I don't know who is in the connection, but something about forgiveness. Somebody needs to forgive someone. And it may not be anything to do with you or this person. But it may be some things that this person still needs to work through. Understood? Oh, I know you. Listen. I know just by the way you conversate. Okay? You ain't got to convince me. I can tell by the way you talk. You see, that's why I asked your permission. Yeah, but I said that a long time ago. I caught that one a long time ago. Because when you know you're dealing with another spiritual person, you know that you have to really ask for permission. You can't just go and start reading and doing stuff when people are of that nature. You can't really just do stuff like that. You might be crossing some boundaries. You might be crossing some spiritual lines that you ain't supposed to be crossing. So, and it's a respect thing too. So people who just freely read people and you don't get those people permission, you don't know who you don't know those people ancestors. You don't know those people. That's just like going into unknown territory. That's disrespectful. So mine's as well, but listen. You get along with, listen, once you get along with me, you are automatically good, okay? Once you're good with me, you automatically good. Love me some Archangel Michael. My favorite Archangel, and I don't really want to say my favorite, but my favorite my favorite Archangel is actually Archangel Metatron. That's my favorite one. I love when Archangel Metatron show up, okay? Michael is like, everybody know about Archangel Michael, okay? But you start getting in deep with them, Metatron is my favorite. And the thing I love about Metatron, he got a twin, okay? So you can't get in touch with Metatron, you go to Saddle Fun. Cause they twins. They work hand in hand. My relationships and finances. Okay. So I'm pretty Gabriel. Love me some Gabriel too. Okay. But I know when I need Archangel Metatron and his brother. Baby, them two together. Janet, I'm just reshuffling my deck, okay? Because Daniel had a lot of cards that came out. So I want to make sure I'm reshuffling the deck for you, okay? And when you're working on healing like a love situation, Archangel Chamuel is the archangel that you want to work with. When you're like working on repairing your heart on love, Archangel Chamuel is really good for helping with that. All right, Spirit. Let's go ahead and tap in with Janet. What does she need to know at this moment regarding her relationships and finances? Okay. It's spelled C-H-A-M-U-E-L. It's a C instead of an S. It sounds like that, but it's Sham. But it does sound like it's an S, but it's a C. I can definitely see, Janet, you are closing out major cycles in your life. I'm seeing the number 10 here. And after number 10 is number 11. So 11 is about expansion. So when you're closing out cycles in your life, that means your life is going to another level. And I'm seeing definitely at the bottom of the deck here. Okay. You got the number 1. Look at that. Endings, new beginnings, okay? And then 10 plus 1 is 11. So you see how it's all aligning with this, okay? And you've been seeing those kind of numbers for a reason, okay? Good things are definitely coming in. It's all about how you are aligning yourself with those good things. So if you know that finances is something that you are working towards, that means you're going to be building things. So though that financial part can continue to come in. Okay. What else do I see? I definitely see, and look who just shows up as I was just talking about him. Okay. Archangel Metatron. This is good karma coming in for you. This is something good coming in for you when it's in regards to love and your finances, okay? I'm definitely seeing the Divine Masculine and the Prince energy here. So somebody is definitely manifesting you. It could be a Libra or a Cancer. Or this person could have these zodiac signs in their chart somewhere, okay? Right now, I think the most important thing for you at this time, Janet, is that you stay in a zenful state, okay? You continue to not allow anything to take you out of your element. Because especially with you closing out cycles in your life, you want to be mindful of who you are letting in and who you are letting go at this time. Does that make sense? The number 10 and the number 1. And the card says completion of a major cycle or lesson. And this one says Earth Angel, higher self, and connected universally. Hey, Kendra. So endings, new beginnings. Y'all, I am still... Thank you, Wisdom Love.
Janet, I want to make sure I answered. I want to make sure that your question was answered. Okay. So I'm going to put them with the categories of each. So I'm putting numbers with numbers, letters with letters, zodiacs with zodiacs, okay? Let me know when you done, okay? So, did you get the blue ones? Hold on, because I want to make sure that you can see it. There it goes. Okay, so you got the blue ones. And you're welcome, love. Yeah, that's because it's how I have my camera on. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you're awesome as well, my love. Okay. What's your question? What kind of, like an actual tarot deck? Like you talking about the 70 something card tarot deck? Welcome back, Maya. Are you reading, when you read, are you, oh my God, you just took the words out of my mouth, because I was about to say, is you read? Oh man. That's not tarot, okay? I want people definitely need to understand this. There's a difference between tarot and oracle. Cards what's T? That's not a tarot deck. That's an oracle deck. And okay. So you know, with decks like that, there's no how can I say this? Some of that stuff is very low vibrational. So you got to understand, when you're working with low vibrational cards, you're going to get low vibrational readings. Yes, my love. But I will definitely still answer your question. So the difference is, so tarot comes with, there are specific tarot cards. You cannot do a tarot deck with more than the cards. I don't even know if it's, I think it's like 78 cards in a tarot deck, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, okay? But I think it's like 78 cards in a tarot deck. Every card in the tarot deck has a specific meaning to the card. You learn what the meanings of each card is. And I always tell people, you got to know how to read. You got to know how to read yourself before you could ever go and read another person. So if you don't know how to, if you don't even use your cards with yourself, you're already messing up with cards. But the difference between tarot is, there's specific meanings for tarot cards. And then oracle, the oracle is what the oracle is. The oracle card says what the oracle card says. And you can't change it, okay? But there can be different meanings to a tarot card, because tarot is really based off of energy. Well, I think all cards are based off of energy. But it's like, how can I say this? It is 78 cards? Okay. That's why I know it was like, yeah. So in my deck, I have a mixture of all of those type of things. It's like a mixture of tarot, because I put some of the, like the Empress, the Emperor, in some tarot decks, there's Prince and Princess. It's called pop-up messages. And this is what it looks like. So the reason that it's called pop-up messages, because on every card, there's a pop-up message, okay? And then on some cards, there's angel numbers. And then there's words of what the letter R, or whatever letter it is. Whatever that letter means, there's words that goes along with that letter or that number or that zodiac. Like the zodiac sign that I see right now is Sagittarius. So there's a pop-up message. So if there's a Sagittarius in the live, your message for tonight is simply thank you for your commitment, okay? That's a pop-up message. So that's why I named the deck the way I named it, okay? Because every card has a message. So say you've been seeing the number 5, and then I'm saying, here's the number 5 card. But the message is do great things. Okay, I've been seeing number 5 over and over again. And then she's talking about, here's the number 5 card. Okay, so do great things. Astrology, tarot is off of astrology, and oracle is more of a spiritual balance. Yeah, I can say that. I can say that. I can agree with that. Yeah. But me personally, I only read tarot for those who are very advanced on their spiritual journey. If you're not advanced on your spiritual journey, I would definitely not read a tarot deck to you. I've been there probably. I've probably been there, threw you off a whole lot trying to read you a tarot card. Or give you a tarot reading. I would, okay. Because I don't want you to get rid of your creation. But you can correct it. It can be corrected. I don't think that you should throw it away. I think you should understand the lesson, you know. So we have to be very mindful of the cards that we buy. Okay. So if you're buying a messy deck, what type of messages do you think to get? You're going to get messy messages, okay? But you have to always read yourself, okay? So if you reading yourself with your own deck and you're not getting any confirmation, nothing is accurate, that might not be the thing that you want to actually That's not you might be doing it for the wrong reasons. Let me say it like that. All right, Jenny, you have a great one as well. Thank you so much for the gifts as well. So I think anybody that's reading, if you consider yourself to be a reader and you don't read yourself, how can you read somebody else? How can you give someone else advice if you don't take your own advice? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. It depends on where you want to start, because there are so many decks. I want to kind of show y'all. I'm gonna make sure y'all see this whole little thing right here. Those are cards. And I have way more than that. But these are just the immediate cards that I use, okay? But it depends on where you are on your journey, okay? So if you're on a healing journey, you might want to start with healing cards. I have a deck that is, where is that deck? Like this one right here. It's called the Healing Energy Oracle. So if you know that you're on your healing journey, boom, get you some healing cards. Okay, if you know you in a part of your journey, well, okay, I didn't heal and I can still deal with a little mess. Okay, then you get you a deck that's a little messy. Okay, but it depends on where you are on the journey. Like this deck here, I love this deck. It's called Lost Girl, Made Woman. At some point in my journey, I was definitely a lost girl. Okay? I didn't know no better. But I became the woman I became because of my journey. Okay? The High Priestess. And that's, we talked about that a little bit. Wisdom. Okay? Most definitely. Most definitely. So when you know where you are on your journey, and honestly, the cards are going to be calling you. You ain't even really going to have to go look for it. You're going to be just scrolling, and you're going to be like, ooh, I might like that. And that's what I tell people, like, even like with crystals. Like, you got to let the crystal find you. Don't find the crystal. Let the crystal come talk to you. Okay? So, like, stuff like this. Why do I have a bowl full of crystals? Because every time I go somewhere, they be calling me. I don't even be doing nothing. But they be like, buy me. So it just depends on like where you are on the journey. Because everybody don't need cards. There are some people who are just that good. They don't need a card, okay? They be sitting somewhere and they just start writing stuff down. So it's like, and I would say if you're going through like a spiritual thing, you don't have to always need your cards either. Like I have my sound bowls. So I do a lot of healing work, okay? When I'm working with my clients, we do a lot of healing. So it's very rare, it's very seldom that I will be reading low vibrational energy because I'm not a low vibrational person. So it just really depends on your journey. Who else was I supposed to be answering a question for? Trap. Okay, question. Because you say you don't read for no one, but you say your deck isn't accurate. How would you know that your deck is accurate? I will definitely make healing call. I will definitely do that. Okay. I can too, but I don't. Sometimes I be telling spirit, no, thank you. I don't want to read that. It's been times where I had to say that on live. Like, literally, I'm working. I'm on live here, and I can pick up on somebody's negative energy. Like, my nose will start irritating me. I'm sneezing all over the place, and I'm like, not today. So I don't care for the low vibrations, but I know that everybody is not healed. So I understand it. It's nothing against anyone. It's just I know that people are not healed. But I also understand that I'm not here to heal everybody either. That's another thing I had to learn. I was asking it my own questions about your personal life. So you was asking a deck that you created about your personal life, and it didn't give you accurate information about your life. That just may mean that you're not tapped in for real. And that's just me being honest. Because if I go to my deck right now and I ask my deck about something personal in my life, it's gonna snitch. My cards is going to tell the truth. And that's why sometimes I gotta be mindful of doing stuff like that, because I be like, dang, I might have just exposed somebody for real when I wasn't trying to. So if you're reading a deck for yourself and you're not getting any accurate information, you may not be tapped in as much as you think you are. Because if you're tapped in with your cards and you're tapped in with the Most High God, which is your source is the Most High God. If the Most High God is not your source, wrong source. If the Most High God is not your source, wrong source, okay? And that's just facts, okay? I'm just speaking true, okay? Maya, what was your question, love? Okay, is Daniel gonna find love? Of course, Daniel's gonna find love. Wisdom, I am so serious, because I be having to ask certain people, like, who is your source? Like, where you get your information from? And when people ask me like that, look at the confirmation coming through. Daniel, somebody named Melissa just came right into the live. Okay, that was just wild. On that type of time, okay, which one? Because it's a whole lot of them, okay? It's a whole lot of them. It really wasn't a question. I just wanted to know about life and moving. So I'm going to say it like this. Is that something that you're prepared for? If that's not something you are prepared for, that is not something you should be worrying about. And I hope you understand what I mean when I say that. If not, I will definitely go in a little bit more detail for you. Hold on now. Hold on, wisdom. Cause some women got enough. We may have this much more power over that. Okay? And they may never tell us that. Cause they don't want us to get start thinking too highly of ourselves. Cause that's what we'll do. We'll start thinking too highly of ourselves. And think that they don't need to be respected. So they will never tell you, to be honest, they will never tell you that they're scared of you. They'll never tell you that. Because if they tell you that, oh baby, they already know you're gonna run them through the list. Okay, I'm not moving yet. I have a little bit of time left at the place I'm in. So definitely stay. I think life right now for you is being focused on being a mother. That's the number one thing. Because your children need you. Well, first is yourself, okay? Because if you ain't good for yourself, you can't be good for anybody. So first, we're making sure that self is good. And what that may look like is my mental okay? Can I handle the things that I have placed upon myself? Am I able to handle those things? We have to also know how to prioritize or put things in categories in our lives. So when we feel like something is overwhelming us, we have to understand that we know who to call. We know who to depend on. Not to be codependent, but I like to use the word interdependent. Where you're in a connection or a relationship with people that don't mind you using, I don't even want to say using them, but they don't mind helping you. They understand that them helping you is serving God. Okay, talk to me, Spirit. They know you helping them or them helping you is them serving God. Man. Okay. The program hasn't seemed like it's working, so I've been looking at other options. Okay. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep trusting that it's going to work out. It's going to align itself just the way it's supposed to. But that is also fully trusting God. Like you really can't. You can say, God, I trust you, but then you sit here still worrying about it. God is like, she don't trust me. So sometimes we have to truly understand when we give something to God, we can't say, God, okay, God, I gave it to you, and now I'm finna... Okay. We can't say, God, I'm going to give this to you, and then we go back and ask God, so God, what time? What time am I expecting this? Because, so if you're going to give it to God, Don't worry about the other parts of it. All you can do is do what's best for you. Stay focused on you. Focus on your children. Focus on school, bettering your life, doing what you need to do for yourself. Everything else will align. That man gonna align. That home is gonna align. Everything else will align. Trust in God. That's what it is. That's what that is for you. You're in the space where you're learning to trust God. It's not easy. I don't think people understand that. Trusting God is not easy. Especially when you're someone who likes to be in control. And God tells you, you must forgot who I am. When God got to come and tell you that, oh, you must forgot who I am. Then he got to teach you lessons because you forgot who he was. So learning to trust God is not the easiest thing. It might be one of the hardest things because it's like you think he gonna respond or give you what you ask for, and he say, that's just like they always use this as an example. People say it's the cake thing where they say you asked God for a cake and God gave you the eggs, the flour, the whatever ingredients you needed to make the cake, but you didn't make the cake. So how do you expect to have the cake if you didn't make it? If you didn't put it together? So that's what trust looks like for God sometimes. It's, you say, God, I want this man. Or I want my finances to be like this. And God says, okay, you want your finances to be like that, but how are you going to work to get those finances? That means you're going to have to get a job. That means you might have to get a job that you might have to get 2 jobs. In the midst of everything that you got going on, because you're asking God for something. And then you're like, I'm just going to go do it myself. And God be like, okay. Go out there and get you 2 jobs. Go out there and work yourself. Go out there. And then you're going to be like. So I believe the space that you're in right now is you learning to trust God. And it ain't easy. Because everything is not showing up the way that you expect it to show up. And just because it's not showing up the way that, or in the timely manner that you want it to show up, doesn't mean that God isn't still working. Right? I've been on my spiritual journey. Okay, I backslided, y'all. But I'm transparent about my stuff, okay? But I've been on my spiritual journey for 5 years. In 2023, I kind of got off path. So when you venture off path, it's like you have to start over. So just imagine somebody doing that over and over and over again on their spiritual journey. And they don't realize every time that they make a mistake, God makes you start over. That be that part. So when you venture off your path and God be like, okay, I forgive you, okay? But you gonna start this over. And there's people out here, they start over every day. They start at square one every day because they don't go to the second square. And they don't go to the third square because they go back to square one. Don't be that person that keep going back to square one. Keep going forward. take the next step. And sometimes when you get to step 5, there's going to be people that was at step 4, step 3, step 2, and step 1 that ain't going with you. And you can't take them with you, okay? And you got to know it's okay. That the people that was at step 4, step 3, step 2, and step 1, it's okay that they can't come with you to step. They can't get to step 5 with you. They not ready. So guess what you do? Every time you take a step back because you want step 4 to come with you, guess what step you're now at? Step 4. And then you step back to step 3. Guess what step you're at now? Step 3. And it's the same thing. And that's how people go back to square one. Because they keep going backwards. And not forward. Because there's people at step 4 that they wanted to take with them. And they did the same thing with people at step 3. They did the same thing with people at step 2. And they did the same thing with people at step 1. So all you did was start yourself over. And it's going to get harder every time you start over. Unless you have truly learned your lesson. When you really learn your lesson, then it's going to be, you're going to be able to get through it quicker. Because you know. Okay, I remember this at step 1. Step 1 was whatever it was. Okay, I learned that lesson. Step 2. Oh, I remember going through this already. This is just a test to see if I'm really ready for step 3. You get back to step 3, you get back, and it's the same cycle repeating itself over and over again until you get to step 6. You don't know what step 6 looked like, because why? You never made it that far. So now the trust is a little different. Because it ain't the same trust at step 5. It ain't the same trust level at step 4. It ain't the same trust level at step 3. It's levels to this spiritual journey. And when you start seeing it and thinking about it like that, you're going to look back at the people that was at the different steps. And you're going to be like, I know what your problem is. I know what it is. I know why you can't get to step 2. I know why you can't get to step 3. And you're going to be looking at them like, I want nothing to do with that. Because I done already got through that. I done learned whatever lesson you trying to learn. And I don't want to relearn it with you either. And that's not selfish. That's called self-love. Some people think that you being selfish because you don't want to be bothered. No, it's self-love. I love me enough. So sometimes I don't need your love. Especially if you're giving me love from a step 1 phase when I'm really at step 6. It's not worth it. I don't want to go back to step 1 just to get your love. You need to be coming to step 6. And we can do this together. So when you start to really realize what this whole journey is about, you're going to look at it different. Because maybe the people that you're at that level with right now is your stepping stone to the next level. But you got to do right by it. And when you do right by that right there, you already know how God gonna do. So I'm glad you knew I was talking to you. I'm glad you knew that me and you had just had a moment, okay? Nars Barkley, okay? Making me think about CeeLo Green. Because that's his real name. I mean, that's CeeLo's Green real name, Nars Barkley, if y'all didn't know. Okay. What's your question, love? You're more than welcome. Is Michael your biological father?
Spirit, can we get some confirmation on this question here? Is anybody an Aries? Oh. No. It clearly says Pisces. But there is some form of an Aries in this connection here. I'm saying definitely. And I did see the King card. I didn't even realize the King card came out. Seeing the King and definitely. And I'm seeing the Yes card, okay? And I'm seeing the Princess. So the King, the Princess. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. And yes. Someone told me we never met in person, but in spirit. Who's the Pisces? He was an Aquarius. Okay. Do you know your biological mom? Was there a reason why you asked that question? Am I making progress with my life? What are you currently doing with your life? And I'm not talking about like job wise or career or anything like that. What are you doing to spiritually progress your... Make sure I'm saying that right. What are you do? Yeah, it's a spiritual thing. But what are you doing spiritually? I guess to progress your life. Are you doing the healing that you need to do? Are you not attaching yourself to anything? Right. Because I'm more spiritual than I am anything else. Being closer to people while having... At some point, and this is just me being real, okay? At some point on your spiritual journey, you no longer go through warfare. So if you feel like you're going through warfare, you definitely you're not on the right path. Or I don't even want to say it like that because that sounds so, because at some point it's not a fight anymore. When you get to a certain, like, it's like when you get to a certain state or like a certain point on the journey, it's not a fight because you now understand who is fighting your battles. So that's why I say, like, now I understand you are definitely fighting something. Because there is no telling what he's going through while he's going through what he's going through. Thank you for the follow, love. Sometimes we can't just tell people to leave because maybe they don't have proper resources to just up and leave. But there is opportunity where you can start to work on yourself. And you start to heal what brought you to that place. I'm going to say that. You can start, because whatever it was, how did you end up with your exes? Because you just said, I live with my ex-parents. So this is not even somebody that you're in a relationship with. So it's like you got to start working on what took you to that place. That's where your healing is going to start. When you realize this is what got me here. The book always tells us never be anxious. Always pray and never be anxious. So, no, you shouldn't be worried about anything. Pray about everything. Be anxious for nothing. Okay? That's what the Lord tells us. You're welcome, love. Natalie, is there anything that you and Mitchell are not doing to keep y'all together? I always believe that if you really have to ask a question about somebody that you're with, something ain't right. Am I the only one that feel like that? Like, if I gotta ask a question about the man that I'm with, why am I with that man? Like, my mindset go up. Y'all, excuse me, because my mind go. Because I'll be like, if I gotta question the man that I'm with, really, should I really be with that man? Should I really be? No, that don't even sound right. It can't be for you because it's like, that means y'all ain't talking. That's what it's like to me. Like, y'all ain't talking. And that might be the problem, okay? There's multiple things going on. What does that mean? Multiple things like what? Then let him go, baby. Let him go. Set him free. Okay? Okay. Then most definitely you should be, yeah. If you're in a way that you should do that, then do it. And you might can, sue that person. Because they supposed to have that together for you. So if you're going through things like that, that can be, that can mess with your health. So. But Natalie, I would say free yourself and free him. And if there's children involved, if those children are not adult children and there are smaller kids involved, everybody's gonna need to go to some therapy. Everybody's gonna need some help. Is that what you signed on the contract? I don't have Zelle. Anybody that PayPal or Chime is the way that I take care of payment issues. Unfortunately, I didn't read about mode control. Yeah, we gotta read those, baby. Anything you put your signature on, cause stuff like that can be used to get you. There go that Melissa name again, Daniel. But we gotta be very mindful of the things that we're putting our signatures on. You started it, Daniel. Okay, you started it, and then look at it. It just keep popping up. But and I think therapy is a good idea for anybody that is going through. Well, they technically say these are spiritual. Is it spiritual awakening signs when relationships are over? You don't feel like yourself. You don't really know who you are anymore. Those are signs that you're going through a spiritual awakening. And I think anybody that's going through a spiritual awakening, you gonna need some help, okay? You're gonna need some assistance and some guidance. I ain't gonna say you need help, but you may need some guidance on how to get you through your spiritual awakening. Please do. I think everybody should. I think everybody should be awakened. I don't think anybody should be asleep. I think this world would be a better place if everybody was awakened. If you ask me, okay? And it could be a range of anything. You could have been going through a cycle in your life, and that cycle of your life is completing itself. And you're tapping into a new part of yourself, and you don't know who this new person is. So yes, it will look like it's out of the blue. Because why? You don't even know who you are anymore. You're going to have to relearn yourself. You're going to have to get to know things about you all over again. Yeah, you're now a mother. You're a mother. You've never been a mother before. So how would you know? So yes. And then you're going to be reparenting yourself by parenting your child. Yes. because some of the things that were taught to you as a child, you might not want to keep that going with your child. So yeah, you don't know who you are. You're learning yourself again. You're having to experience life with everything that's happening around you, the people. You might have friends that no longer are your friends, but they were your friends while you were, carrying the baby. It may be a lot of different things happening in your life. So yeah, you will go through an awakening, and you will start to see people for who they are. That's not my mama. That's such and that's, and sometimes we can call it out. That ain't my mama, but that's the spirit of whatever my mama is carrying. So sometimes you just see things differently. I know when I started waking up, I saw a whole lot of things different. And at some point, it wasn't who am I. It was I can see who they are, and I'm thinking to myself, am I going to accept them for who they are, or am I going to love myself more? And if I can't accept somebody for who they are, that means I'm choosing to love myself more. And that's something that I've been learning to do. If I can't accept them, it's not about them. It's about me loving myself more. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. Dang, I think wisdom done tapped out on this. But y'all, it was so nice talking to y'all. I didn't even realize it was after 6 o'clock. Daniel, for real, if we gotta work together. We're gonna have to do a podcast or something. Or we can do a TikTok live together. You come on and you talk on live. But we'll see. I have a podcast already, and you can find it on Spotify. It's called Life Chat with Life Coach J. So if you want to go and check out some of my episodes on my podcast, click that link in my bio and check that out. I also I'm from Atlanta. Can you tell? Can you tell? But I also have I have 2 YouTube channels. I have one for my Enlightened Stars, and I have one for my life coaching page. So I got YouTube, I have a podcast, I have my healing journey ebook. That's something in that link as well. If you click the link in my bio, you'll be able to see all of these different things. What else is on that link? Maybe want to go look on it myself. So when y'all click the link in my bio, this is what it's going to send you to. My link tree. And like I said, there are so many different links that you guys can tap on to get to know more about me. Like I said, my podcast is on there. My YouTube is there. The 30-day healing challenge ebook that I have. And if you wanted to contact me, that is the best way to do so, through the link tree link. Okay. Is that Tennessee?
No, Tennessee is TN. What is TS? What is TS? Oh, you're in another country. Daniel, are you in another country? All right, y'all. I am about to tap up out of here. And I need to put my phone back on the charger. So once again, I appreciate everybody that stayed on, tapped in with your girl, and all of that good stuff. Until next time, y'all, it is always peace, blessings, and namaste to you and yours.